Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Max with BuzzTox here, and I'm back with a Sam Tarly predictions video. In this video, I'm going to tell you what I think happens to Samwell Tarly in Game of Thrones Season 7, episode by episode. I just want to issue a huge spoiler warning for all of you out there, because I do know some of the plot leaks, and some of the plot leaks have been confirmed, and I will be using them in my predictions. So if you do not want to know what happens in Game of Thrones Season 7, leave right now. But let's talk about Sam, and the last time we saw Sam, he arrived in Old Town. And he's there to learn to be the new maester for Castle Black, because Aemon Targaryen has died. And Sam's got a lot going on. He has to learn a lot about White Walkers before the long night comes. It also didn't help that he stole his father's sword, Heartsbane, which is a Valyrian steel sword which was held in his family for 500 years. But I think in this season, Sam is actually going to get what he really wants, and that's to be a wizard.
He wants to groom you for command.
I always wanted to be a ranger.
I always wanted to be a wizard. What? Oh, I'm serious. So you'll stay and say your word with me?
I believe that we're really going to be catching up with Sam, educating himself on everything White Walkers to help out Jon. And I believe in his study, he's going to come to meet Archmaester Marwyn, who is also known as Marwyn the Mage. And the reason he's called Marwyn the Mage is because he specializes in the higher mysteries, which is pretty much magic for those of you who don't understand. And I believe that these characters are going to connect, and we're going to see Sam tell Marwyn his story. How he joined the Night's Watch, he killed a White Walker. How he now knows that Dragonglass can kill them, and that his friend Jon Snow killed a White Walker with Valyrian steel in Hardhome. And this story all but confirms a fairy tale that White Walkers actually exist. And I think Marwyn will take him in as his apprentice and introduce him to all of these new books that will focus in on training Sam to know everything there is to know about the history of White Walkers. In episode 2, I believe that Jorah will arrive because he's seeking a cure for his grayscale. And I think there are two forms of maesters that can help him. There are maesters who specialize in medicine and healing, and there are also maesters who specialize in the higher mysteries. It may be important to contact maesters who specialize in the higher mysteries because grayscale seems like an incurable disease. However, there is history with Princess Shireen. Stannis was able to bring in the right people to subdue her disease. And I believe that Jorah will be taken in because of who he is. He has a connection with Daenerys, and he was fighting for Daenerys, the mother of dragons. And I believe that Maester Marwyn will want to help him, because he does want Daenerys to rule the Seven Kingdoms, because of his passion for the higher mysteries. So I believe Maester Marwyn and Sam are going to lock up Jorah and keep him secluded from everyone else to stop his grayscale from spreading, and to ensure that if he turns into a crazy psycho, he'll be locked up and taken care of. So while Jorah is secluded in a box, Maester Marwyn is going to try and find a cure with the Maesters of Healing and Medicine. And I believe in episode 3, it's really going to build the relationship between Sam and Jorah. It'll be really interesting to build the relationship between these two characters that we've known since season 1. And I believe that Sam is going to speak to Jorah in his little cage, and the two are going to reminisce about Daenerys. And Sam's going to bring up Aemon Targaryen and how Aemon always spoke so highly of Daenerys and how Daenerys sounds so lovely, and Jorah will just reaffirm Sam's sentiments. Sam will also tell Jorah about the threat of the White Walkers and how useful Daenerys will be in stopping that from happening. And I believe later in the episode, Maester Marwyn is going to be rushing Sam to learn everything because the long night is soon coming. And he's going to be teaching Sam how to forge Valyrian steel because it could be useful in defeating the White Walkers. And in episode 4, I think it'll be time for Jorah to leave. They'll actually cure him of grayscale, and he'll want to be by Daenerys' side as soon as possible. But before Jorah leaves, Sam gives Jorah a letter. And this letter contains information on how to reforge Valyrian steel. It'll also reinforce the need for Daenerys in the fight for the Long Night. And Sam will tell his story on how he killed the White Walker. And in episode 5, Sam is going to have to test out what he knows on how to create Valyrian steel. And this is where he's going to try and reforge his father's sword. This is because there's going to be no more Valyrian steel at the Citadel. And Sam is going to have to use his father's sword to practice how to reforge Valyrian steel. And Sam is going to successfully melt it down. He's going to make a small link for himself. which represents that he's mastered the art of the higher mysteries, and he reforges the Valyrian steel sword with the remaining steel. And it is in this moment where Sam symbolically becomes a wizard. He's forced to learn everything fast because the Long Night is coming and he has no choice. Maester Marwyn forces him to learn as much as possible and everything he can, and then tells him he must leave Old Town to go straight to Winterfell, to educate the Northerners before the White Walkers march on the wall. So at the end of episode 5, Sam leaves for Old Town, and he goes with Gilly and the baby. And around the time Sam leaves Old Town, we're going to see Jorah arrive in Dragonstone. And when he arrives, he's going to give Daenerys the letter that Sam gave him. And it's going to explain how to create Valyrian steel. And it's going to back up Jon's statement on how the Long Night is the biggest threat to Westeros. So that's going to result in a meeting between Davos, Daenerys, Jon, Jorah, and Tyrion to discuss what to do next. And this is where Davos says that he knows somebody that can help. He speaks of a bastard boy named Gendry, who he met in the very castle that they're in. And this boy was an extremely talented blacksmith. And Davos has no doubt that this boy will be able to follow the formula that Sam provided Jorah on how to create Valyrian steel. So it is at this moment where Davos realizes that he sent Gendry back to King's Landing to save him from Melisandre. Davos tells the group that he's going to have to use his smuggling skills to try and get into King's Landing and to get Gendry out. And at this moment, Tyrion says that he would want to go also. He doesn't know if there's any hope, but he wants to try and meet up with Jaime and Bronn, to try and convince them to join their cause before any more bloodshed happens. It's at this moment where Daenerys allows Tyrion to go, because she realizes how important it is to him. With Sam's intel, they successfully captured Gendry, and now Sam doesn't return until episode 7. And this is because he was traveling that whole time and he finally made it to Winterfell. And we're going to see Sam meet everybody, but especially Bran. And Bran is going to tell Sam that he's been watching him this whole time, and he tells Sam how integral he is to the Long Night. And it is this moment where Sam and Bran share all the intel they've gathered. Sam shares all of his knowledge that he got from the Citadel, whereas Bran tells Sam what he learned in the depths of history. And together they return to Lyanna Stark's tomb and uncover Rhaegar Targaryen's harp. And it is at this moment where Sam realized his friend was a frickin' badass. But that's it for my Sam predictions, everyone. Let me know in the comments section down below if you agree. If you want to know what plot leaks I used that are confirmed in my predictions, you can check out my episode breakdown video. In this video, I talk episode by episode on what has been confirmed, 100% confirmed, for Game of Thrones Season 7. But that's it, everybody. I'll see you later.